roll call, please.
Mrs. Scioli? Here. Mrs. Foley?
Here.
Mrs. Grega?
Here.
Mr. Leidig?
Here.
Mrs. President?
Here, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Committee reports. So I don't know if this will fall under committee reports, but I guess under legislative. Timmy and I did attend the Abolish Property Tax meeting at Auburn Career Center last Monday because they had said they were going to come up with a plan for what the next steps would be if they did abolish property taxes. So it's out there on Ohio Political Network if anyone's interested in seeing what was said and where they went with it. Basically, I didn't really get a good grasp on what the plan would be other than we're gonna let the state figure it out. So
And it's a reduce.
yeah, they want everyone to reduce spending and they want the state to reduce their budget by 20% to cover the cost of the loss in property taxes to all the local entities that would lose that. So I know from ours, we just approved our tax statement. So I know we take in 13 million in property taxes locally. So in a $20 million budget, that's quite a cut. So hopefully there's a better plan than let's wait and see what the state figures out, because we do know that this isn't just like something we're playing with. These are our kids and their futures. And we saw during COVID the impact that not having regular education had on kids. We certainly don't want children to have to go through that again. So we will be watching very closely and advocating as much as possible for public schools and continue to try to keep people as informed as possible and encourage people to ask questions. Mrs. Capo is a very, very good resource on that. So she can give you a lot of the inside information and details on all things school funding. Did I miss anything there?
No, I don't need to miss all. I mean, there's a lot of things, but.
There was a lot.
You didn't miss the, you didn't
That's
miss
the
the
highlights.
was critical or important. It was the side stuff that was not so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd just be important for us to, in the future, maybe have something out this way that talks more about the other side of the story, right? Because only one side of the story is being told about when you reduce property taxes and make cuts. Well, let's tell the other side. Let's talk about our side.
Mhm.
I think that would be critical to have something like that.
I agree. Is there no other committee reports? Administrative updates, Mr. Porcello?
Thank you. We'll start off with, we have received our PHS state testing results from December. Due to us being on a block schedule, some of our students do test in December, and the results were very positive. Once again, at this time of the year, we have percentages. We can compare to last year's percentages and see where we're at. Our ultimate goal as a district is to be in the top third within every testing subject area. And our high school has historically, outside of one subject area, been in that top third. And the good news report is that the one area outside of that last year was American history, which was at 78%. Their fall testing came in at 96.7. Now keep in mind, we still have to test half the kids in the second semester, but it's a good sign that some quality work's been done instructionally, thanks to Mr. Nenzwicki, Mr. Mujanis, and all the teacher leaders that really dove into a lot of our data to see where we're at and look at how we can get better. So shout out to the high school people for that performance this fall. Next up, we are currently in the planning stages of a senior class trip, which would be a new item here at Perry. This group of seniors missed both their 6th grade camp and their 8th grade DC trip because of COVID. So several of the class officers had come to Mr. Nedzwicki to look in the plan the day trip. They looked at a couple different options. I think they are settling in on Niagara Falls, and I'll clarify that they would stay on the American side of the falls so we don't have passport issues there. So the students have developed the itinerary. Mrs. Cook, as the senior class advisor, would go along with several additional chaperones. And we're looking at May 12th, which is the week between their seniors' last day in commencement. And the cost per student would be $270 or $300. They would take a charter bus up, have a full day of itinerary made of list and a variety of activities. So just putting that out there as it's in the works, and we'll seek board approval in the coming month here. Speaking of commencement, just to clarify, we thank you for your approval of the calendars a couple months ago. One of the things that we had misidentified in there is when commencement would be during the 27 commencement season and the 28. We had a Sunday too early. So moving forward, commencement this year will be May 17th as scheduled. For the 27 year will be Sunday, May 23rd. And for the class of 28 would be May 21st. Suzanne has already updated the calendars online. We'll have Mr. Nitzwicki send a communication out to the high school families so that everybody's on the same page, because we know that people like to plan well in advance for that day. We do not have to seek additional board approval because it doesn't impact the days we're going to school or the number of days that we're going. Congratulations goes to Mr. Bob Geswich, our varsity football coach, on being named the Coach of the Year by the AEA Institute. The foundation of Coach Geswich's program, according to the release, is that everything is earned. So we congratulate Mr. Geswich for the job that he's done and receiving that recognition. In the role of music, 13 Perry students in grades 4 and 5, along with one high school senior, performed at the OMEA State Conference in Columbus as members of the All-State Children's Choir. Students were selected through a competitive audition process, and to be considered, they had to submit 2 vocal pieces unaccompanied, and which were reviewed by a state panel. The final selections were based solely on singing ability from a high competitive pool of applicants from across Ohio. Congratulations to Shaylee Frazier, who's our senior, and our 4th and 5th grade students, Ramey Hartman, Harper Cummins, Chloe Mayer, Spencer Carl, Kristen Mann, Penelope Chongris, Charlotte Flenner, Lydia Merck, Lucy Eimler, Jaden Bailey, Mackenzie Lorch, and Jessica McElroy. Shaylee Frazier, our senior in the group here, represents the first high school student in Perry's history to be accepted into the OMEA All-State Choir. So special congratulations to Shaylee on her talents and her hard work developing that talent. Birthday kit collection. The middle school kids care club launched a birthday kit collection to support families in need through the Perry Food Pantry. The goal was shared with staff and family through school communications and newsletters, and the response was truly heartwarming. 8th graders Yaneli and Alondra proudly took the lead on this project, doing the majority of the communications with a variety of people that helped make this possible. Thanks to the generosity of our school community, 61 birthday kits were assembled, and they also partnered with our PSL students to assist with transporting and delivering the kits to Food Pantry. Special thanks to Jessica Siegel and Carol Cuevas, who are the Kids Care Club advisors, for their guidance and support to Yaneli and Alondra as they took the lead with this. Always an exciting annual event that we hold every year is the Spelling Bee. Congratulations to all of our Spelling Bee participants. This year's competition featured numerous challenging rounds with students demonstrating the focus and determination to get that right. I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd want to be up there with that challenge of trying to spell. So always great courage to stand up there on stage and take on that challenge. Congratulations to 5th grader Penelope Chongris, who earned the title of first runner-up, and to our Perry School District champion, 7th grader Alphonse Merck. Alphonse secured the championship by correctly spelling the word dirge, D-I-R-G-E, in the final round. Alphonse will represent Perry Schools at the Lake County Spelling Bee tomorrow, February 10th at Auburn Career Center. Best of luck to Alphonse. We're proud of him and wish him the very best in the countywide competition. As far as athletics are concerned, our girls basketball team has now won back-to-back CBC championships and finished an undefeated 10-0 in league play this year. They're currently ranked 7th out of 40 teams in their district. Boys basketball, after a difficult scheduling stretch to start the year, have now won 7 in a row and are back above 500, and they're currently ranked 12th out of 44 teams in their district. The wrestling team finished 5th overall out of 60 teams at the always difficult Maumee Bay Invitational, and this past weekend they competed in the qualifier for the team state duels at West Geauga. 8th grade girls basketball finished their season undefeated and as CBC champs for the 2nd year in a row, and the 7th grade girls basketball had a strong season, finishing as CBC runners-up. So congratulations to all of our student athletes for their continued hard work and the success that many of our teams achieve. And this concludes my administrative update.
Thank you, Mr. Porcello. There was no one signed up for public participation, so moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Grega,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Metzger,
Yes.
Mrs. Seal. Yes.
And we did have, just a quick note, we did have a quite a generous donation as part of our consent agenda, so I just wanted to give a special thank you for that. It's always nice to see people supporting our kids, and especially to that extent. So very grateful to Harry and Vets for their generous support in that donation, and to anyone who donates to the school.
Thank you.
I lost my spot. Superintendent's report, Mr. Cassell.
Thank you. A, personnel acceptance of retirement. The board is asked to accept the retirement of the individuals noted as recommended by the local superintendent. B, personnel acceptance of retirement agreement. The board is asked to accept the retirement agreement of the individual noted as recommended by the local superintendent. C, personnel approval of contract adjustment. The board is asked to authorize the adjustment of the 25-26 employment contracts of the individuals noted from 188 days to 185 days as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. D, personnel approval of change in hours. The board is asked to approve the change in hours noted as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. There is a typo there. The position should say education associate 2, and it currently says 1, so we'll make that correction there. E, approval of corrective action, teacher chairperson. The board is asked to approve the corrective action noted, previously approved August 12, 2025, as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. F, personnel approval of appointment, long-term sub. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individual listed for the position and rate of pay indicated as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. G, personnel approval of appointment, athletic supplementals. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the 25-26 athletic supplemental position and rate of pay indicated pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. H, personnel approval of athletic volunteers. The board is asked to approve the individuals listed for the 25-26 sport noted pending successful completion of background check and certification as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. I, personnel approval of appointment, event supervisors. The board is asked to approve the employees noted for the positions listed as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. J, personnel approval of appointment substitutes. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for 25-26 daily substitute positions listed pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, verification of proper licensure, training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. K, approval of 26-27 PMS registration guide. The board is asked to approve the PMS 2026-27 registration guide as recommended by the local superintendent, building principal, and director of innovation and learning. L, approval of out-of-state field trip, Washington, D.C. The board is asked to approve an out-of-state field trip for PSL students to Washington, D.C., February 25th through the 27th of 2026, as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. This trip will be supervised by PSL teacher Mark Soder. There is no cost to the board for this trip other than the use of a school van for transportation. M, approval of out-of-country trip. The board is asked to approve a trip for 6 to 12 students to Costa Rica with American Council for International Studies from June 9th through the 19th of 2027. It does note that tentative dates will occur during the summer of 2027. These are the tentative dates for now. For a short-term study abroad experience as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal, students will not miss school and the district will incur no cost for the trip. Students will be responsible for providing their own funds for the trip, and fundraisers may be planned to help cover the cost. The estimated cost ranges between $3,500 and $4,500, and the students will have a view of the world they cannot receive in the classroom, making the world their classroom. Global citizenship is an essential part of our current and future society. And approval of membership 2026-27 OHSAA membership. The board is asked to approve the following resolution of the Perry Local School District to continue its membership in the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the 26-27 school year, as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. O, approval of policy, first reading. The board is asked to consider the following revised board policies as a first reading for future action, as recommended by the local superintendent. Draft policy is available for review below. And this concludes my superintendent report.
Thank you, Mr. Cassell. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion?
The adjustment on days, is that for retirement?
Yeah, from the 188 to 185, yeah, that's part of our agreement, the negotiated agreement to be able to do that.
I did acknowledge the school registration guide, so they
Okay.
brought that up at the last meeting. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mrs. Kretzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
All right, Mrs. Cabo, Chief Financial Officer's report.
Thank you. A, approval of financial reports. The board is asked to approve the financial reports from December 2025 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. B, approval of financial reports. The board is asked to approve the financial reports from January 2026 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. C, approval of the financial forecast. The board is asked to approve the financial forecast as presented by the Chief Financial Officer. D, approval of corrective action, Healthy Kids Fall Step It Up Challenge Award. The board is asked to approve the corrective action of the acceptance of Healthy Kids Fall Step It Up Challenge amounts shown below, previously approved December 16, 2025, as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. That's actually the correction of the accounts, not the amounts. Acceptance of grant funds. The board is asked to accept the following grants and approve the appropriations for such grants to be placed in the indicated accounts as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. F, contracts and agreements. Auburn Career Center CTE funding agreement. The board is asked to approve the 2025-26 Auburn Career Center Middle School CTE electives funding agreement as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer and the Director of Innovation and Learning. G, approval of program healthcare benefits. The board is asked to approve the LCSC Healthcare Benefits Program Agreement effective February 2nd, 2026 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. H, approval of expenditure contract Paper Group Incorporated. The board is asked to approve an expenditure in the amount of $18,555.84 to contract Paper Group Incorporated for district paper as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer and the Director of Maintenance and Operations. I, approval of expenditure Staples Chromebooks. The board is asked to approve an expenditure in the amount of $66,387.50 to Staples for 235 HP Chromebooks and Google licenses for education as recommended by the Director of Technology and Chief Financial Officer. These devices will be for the 5th and 6th grade students in 2026-2027. And this concludes my Chief Financial Officer's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Cabo. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mrs. Kretzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Any unfinished business? New business? Correspondence and announcements. There have been no communications to the board. There will be no classes on February 13th, 2026 for Staff Development Day 4. The district will be closed on February 16th, 2026 for President's Day. The next Board of Education work session is scheduled for Monday, February 23rd, 2026 at 5:45 p.m. in the Tarbuck Center Conference Room. The next regular Board of Education meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 9th, 2026 at 5:45 p.m. in the Tarbuck Center Conference Room. I think so.
I'm just gonna ask for quick power registration.
Oh.
How did registration go for middle school registration night?
It was fine. I think they were able to lay it out pretty good. There was some conversation about 5th grade rotation. And we were able to follow up with those that had concern over it to, as always, try to look big picture on what's the best for the overall experience philosophically. And then in true Perry fashion, we always have some alternative options. And if it doesn't match exactly, and we'll work with families through those situations. So
Door numbers look any different than what we had?
we just started a lot of staffing conversations over the past month. We always await anxiously what kindergarten will look like. And kindergarten window did start today, right, Mr. Chisholm? So that is out there.
Did the
18
registration
so far.
just start
18.
flowing?
Wow.
18.
18?
Has there been any questions? Because now that's all coming out
Just get
about
prize out
state
there.
changes.
Yeah,
you should.
Is there been questions or?
Jim, have you received any questions about the change from September 30th to the first day of instruction?
No,
Okay.
no, not really, which ultimately doesn't surprise me because, like, if you look at the last 2 years, there's been 1 or 2 kids that have been applicable. I think based on our preschool numbers, we just have 1 in. So I had a discussion with that single family weeks ago, so I just think it'll be a very small number affected. So we'll look for it.
Which is
Do you have a deadline for the middle school registration? Any chance?
Does the window close on a specific day?
At the end of the month.
End of February?
Is there any other public participation? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call please.
Mrs. Truster,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Grega,
Yes.
Mr. Linder.
Yes.
Thank you. Enjoy the nice, long, pre-planned long weekend.